So here's a quick video for all the bait finesse anglers out there, particularly those of us here in the United States. In this video, I'm going to show you guys my two favorite BFS jerkbaits for bass and for trout. And these are my favorite jerkbaits because they have given me more success than any other brand. And trust me, I've tried dozens of alternatives from all over the world, and I found these to be the best due to many factors. The first factor is that their action is exactly what I want in a jerkbait, which is a very wide side-to-side swing when you twitch them. The second factor is the color selection, and these particular jerkbaits have more color options than any other brand out there. And the third factor is very important, and that is how easily available these are to acquire. So let's get started. Now, my absolute favorite bait finesse jerkbait for bass fishing is the Lucky Craft Pointer 65 suspending. In fact, my first ever jerkbait fish was caught on a Pointer 65 in MS American Shad pattern. The Pointer 65 is widely available at many US tackle retailers, and the JDM version called the Beef Freeze is even available at Tackle Warehouse. Now, speaking of Tackle Warehouse, if you live in the United States, sign up for their email list if you haven't already. They will often send out to people on their email list secret sales, which is how I got these jerkbaits that you see in the video. I believe the secret sale was like 25% off. Now, the Pointer 65 doesn't just work on bass. All sorts of game fish will hit the Pointer 65, both fresh and saltwater. In fact, this fishing footage I'm showing you is some shallow saltwater fishing down in Florida, and it turns out that speckled trout love the Pointer 65. Of course, color matters, and the 65 has a huge amount of color choices, and they also have color patterns with what Lucky Craft calls magic scales. Now, these are some tiny foil scales that really give the pointers a realistic look and a lot of flash when you twitch them. And I personally think these scales are a big reason why the pointers have such success. Now, the Pointer 65 is a little bit over 5 grams, so it's on the upper end of what I consider BFS lure weight. So that means pretty much any BFS reel can cast it with no problems. So on to the best BFS trout jerkbait. And surprise, surprise, it's also a Lucky Craft pointer, but this time it's a smaller version of the 65, the 48 SP. SP stands for suspending, of course. Now, these are also available at Tackle Warehouse, and for such a small jerkbait, the 48 suspends just as good as the bigger pointers and has the wide side-to-side action of the bigger pointers as well. And just like the bigger pointers, the 48 SP has some colors that feature Lucky Craft's magic scales pattern, and it also has a deep diving model. Now, the Pointer 48 weighs in at about 2.4 grams, which is about 3/32 of an ounce, so not quite ultralight, but I recommend a BFS reel with a lighter spool for the best results. Now, every time I go trout fishing in Colorado, I always bring a small tackle box full of only Pointer 48s in various colors. Now, I don't recommend the Pointer 48 for saltwater because the hooks are just too small and bend way too easy. Now, I will say there is a trout jerkbait that is equally as good as the 48, and that is the Duo Spearhead Ryuki 50 Suspend, and I might even like it a tiny bit better, but since they are JDM market, you would have to import them, which makes them not quite as easy to acquire as the pointers. So if you're a jerkbait aficionado and also a bait finesse addict, give these jerkbaits a try if you haven't had any success with other brands. Now yes, they are pricey, starting at around $15, but I definitely would rather pay more for a lure that actually catches fish. Now if you have a bait finesse jerkbait you've had a lot of success with, let everyone know in the comments. Alright guys, thanks a lot.